Everybody, welcome to episode 7. We are talking today about cosmetic surgery. We mentioned it last week, I think, didn't we? I can't remember
We touched
why.
on it.
Yeah, we touched on it, and then we
Yeah.
said we would come back to it this week.
Confidence.
Confidence, that was it, the confidence and body confidence. So, yeah, cosmetic surgery. I think we'll cover a few different topics to do with this. So, I think it's only fair that we start with divulging what, if anything, that we have done ourselves. So shall I go first? So as you guys know, I'm going to be 45 in June, and I have Botox done in 3 areas. So I get here, this is where I really need it. I get really deep creases here and around my eyes. And when I started, it's probably about 4 years ago, I started with the whole do it really natural. I go to an amazing doctor, and I think by about the second go, I was like, get as much of that shit in me as you possibly can. Freeze me. I literally want to be like this, because I just, in the end, I saw it from I was like, I want to get my money's worth. I started out with, let's go natural baby Botox, I think they call it, don't they, when you have like a lesser amount. And now I am like, freeze me up. I actually need it doing I've got a bit of movement at the moment. So yeah, it's not too bad. She's amazing, my doctor. So yeah, I get Botox religiously. I wouldn't be without it. And I started probably about maybe 4 years ago, I get a little bit of lip filler. And actually they look okay, but I think I'm going to get those done again soon. So I get a mil every time I go. And then beyond that, I've not had anything done to my body. People pay to get an arse like mine. I'm like, I could hand you. Yeah, you could pay me to have some of my. Yeah, they don't get close. No, I've never had anything done to my body. I've thought about different things along the way. Like when I was younger, I had really small boobs, and when I was probably in my early 20s, I used to toy with the idea of like, should I get a boob job? But now then, having kids, gaining weight, I think I was a B cup, and now I'm like a double D. So I'm actually really glad that I never had them done. Can you imagine? They'd be enormous. So yeah, I've not done anything to my body, and then I just get like, I enjoy facial, don't I? But I get kind of like quite, not just, I occasionally will do like a nice relaxing, but I do have things like mild peels and like the LED lights, you know, all that kind of like sort of like more cosmetics type facials. But yeah, Botox and lip filler, that's my thing.
Apparently a red light, you can buy like a red light, and that's meant to be like an alternative to Botox.
Oh really?
I've recently heard, yeah. If you get a good one, you have to
I don't believe any of this shit.
It's
like, no, I don't believe any of it. It's like when people say, oh, this serum, you know, is Botox in a bottle. Honestly, I think the only thing that is freezing those lines is Botox.
I was going to do some research into
Give it a try. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think the LED lights are great for other things like pigmentation, probably other like little veins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that's ever going to fill. No, I don't think so.
That's fair.
What about you?
I get my lips filled. I go to my lovely friend. She does a really good job actually, and she does it really naturally.
She's very good. Yeah.
I haven't had them done for a while, but my lips retain really well now because we've built it up like gradually over time.
And that's the key with lips, isn't it? Is to keep getting it done.
I have had it done I've had it done by your doctor, and I think we put a mil in straight away. Whereas with my friend, she's like, no, we do it in halves. She does what she thinks I need. And then I go back maybe 2 weeks later, put a little bit more in if needs be. But where we've done it so gradually, it's really natural. In fairness, I think I'm due a top up at some point soon.
No, your lips still look nice.
But yeah, we do it naturally, and I've had my lips tattooed by her as well, and I love.
They look amazing.
Yeah, I love that. Have
you got lipstick or anything on now?
No. Nothing. Yeah, this is my new.
Yeah, that
colour.
looks like you've got
But
like pillow talk or something, or is that what it's called?
That's what I thought. Yeah,
Pillow
talk. It depends the light, but yeah, it's that kind of colour, which is my
It's
colour.
100% that colour.
Pillow talk, anything that pinky sort of nude is my colour. That's generally what I go for.
They've come out amazing because when you first had them done,
They were
like
massive,
Tiff said, they were really big,
They
but
go
they
really-
were almost like a coral.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful colour actually,
you
but
lose
it's
a lot of the pigment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so happy with
Yeah,
the
they look
colour.
amazing.
So happy. My lips naturally didn't have a lot of pigment, so Tiff said for ages she was like, get it done. I got it done,
really
and I'm
good.
so
I keep looking at them
happy
now. And body wise, you've had nothing done. Obviously.
Nothing done. So I did go for a phase. So before pre-weight loss, I really wanted my boobs done, and then when I started going to the gym, I was like, once I lose the weight, I'm gonna get my boobs done. And now actually, because I weight train, my boobs naturally have lifted a bit anyway.
Yeah, you're.
And I think when I get to the end of my journey, I don't.
When
think
you
I'm
say
gonna
get
feel
them done, do you mean as in an enlargement or just an uplift?
Oh yeah, I would have got an enlargement. Yeah,
You would have done.
Yeah, because I've always had small boobs.
I wouldn't say you've got small boobs though. Like you're not
They're
flat.
not big though.
Yeah.
I guess they're on the smaller side.
So okay, so hang on. So that's actually really interesting. So I've got like a little thought process going on here. Did you just say that now where you do the weight training, blah blah blah, and now you've actually got closer to the end of your weight loss journey that you're now not bothered by it?
Yeah, I think because I train, because I do weight training, everything's toning up. My boobs are lifting, and I'm not too fussed about the size of them now. Whereas I was before, I just would like ideally them to sit a little bit higher. But I think that will happen with training my chest.
But so my thought process that I'm having, and again I'm drawing a little bit, I suppose, on my own personal experience here, is do you not think that possibly where you've gone through losing weight, getting fitter, it's helped you loads. Do you think that it's maybe not also just that you're more accepting
for sure.
of how you are now?
Yeah.
Whereas before it would have been driven by
100%,
insecurity.
Yeah.
Because I
need
right.
this. That's what I need that because my boobs didn't fit. That's kind of I guess what it is. It didn't fit
because
what it should look like.
I think a lot to do with
Whereas
surgery.
Now I don't think that way.
It's tied up with it. Again, this does really lead on from the body confidence thing with expectation and how you feel about yourself. Because I know, like with me, like I say, my boobs got a lot bigger through having the kids, gaining weight. My tits look amazing, but my friends would always say to me, they're like, "You've got amazing boobs, Rochelle." I don't at all. They're big. They're great in a bra. They're great. They're basically great supported, so they'll look good in a dress.
That's what I think about mine.
The second I'm naked,
and I wear bras that are about that thick.
The second I'm naked, these are not good tits. They're like, I mean, I think my nipples pretty much point down there. Yeah, it's not a sight to behold, if I'm honest. Now, I went through a phase where I was like, while I was still married, knowing that actually my ex-husband completely accepted and loved me as I was. But again, I think because I wasn't happy, probably on a wider level, I went through a phase of, shall I get an uplift, blah, 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 blah. I didn't. And now, where I'm obviously much happier, I couldn't give a shit. I wouldn't even consider going and getting them done now.
I relate to that. I think as well, like when you kind of think about external factors, like my fear would have always been, and still to a little degree, like what, look, when I'm wearing clothes and I'm wearing a bra, which I'm not today, by the way, guys, just in case everyone...
All the men are like that.
Can't see.
Let's have a look.
They're on the floor, that's why.
Point down.
What was I saying?
I've lost my own train of thought now, thinking about your tits. What are you even saying?
Oh, so yeah, my fear was like being naked with a guy. Actually, in fairness, now I'm just like, well, I'm not going to be naked with a guy that I don't think is going to enjoy my tits.
Exactly that. And would you want to be with a guy who is going to be so bothered by
if
that?
You're bothered,
like,
then I don't want to be around
they should
you.
just be happy to be near you naked.
Exactly.
And they will, and most will.
It's a blessing and a gift.
It's true though.
And if you don't think that, you can back off.
But they will. I don't think there's ever going to be a guy that's going to be like, her tits are saggy, I'm not going there again.
Yeah.
They're too busy enjoying
and
it.
The thing is, even if they care, if I don't care, then that's the main thing. If I'm not bothered about, oh my god, did you watch The Maths? the clip with Lucinda where she said, "Oh, by the way, you've got boobs."
No, no.
It's so
I'm
funny.
obsessed with her.
Right, so
I am.
digression.
Don't I
This is a
say?
massive
Yeah, this is a big
digression.
digression. Don't I say to you almost on the daily? I'm obsessed with her.
I love her.
I'm obsessed with her.
I can't remember
Lucinda.
his name, but he was uncomfortable about the fact that
Tim?
she. Right,
Timothy?
okay, Tim, yeah. That she came to bed without a top on. It upset him.
Everything.
And
obsessed
she
with.
very, very, like, frankly put, like, if that bothers you, like, it's a you issue, whatever she said.
She's
and at the
amazing,
end, she said, "Oh,
amazing.
by the way, like, you've got boobs." Like, you have got boobs. And, like,
She
why
just
is
said
it...
it.
Yeah, she said, she was basically saying, like, it's, why is it okay for you
Oh,
to
like
come
like
to
you've
bed?
got boobs, but I've got to cover
Yeah.
mine up.
Why is it okay? You the last few nights you've slept without a top on, and that's been fine. And if you're not okay with my boobs, maybe you should rein your
What-
boobs in.
What
like
did he
it's
say?
essentially.
What did he do?
I only saw the clip. I didn't see anything after that. But I think he was just stunned, like just.
I am obsessed with her.
But she's not even being an arsehole.
No,
she
she's
says it
she's
very,
making a good
yeah,
point.
it's like in a very factual, unemotional way, and that I think that's what makes it even better. I loved it.
Yeah, I love her. She's amazing. Where were we before that now? I've totally lost where we were.
About men, being in bed with men.
Yeah, I just don't think they care.
Love it.
Yeah. So I do think it's a lot to do with. It kind of comes back to this thing we were saying last week about happiness being an inside job.
For sure.
And I just want to be clear. I am very pro anybody doing whatever they want to do to make themselves feel better.
For
so
sure,
I am in
yeah.
no like with me, my Botox and my lips.
They make you feel better.
I would never ever not have them done ever, because I look at old photos, and my face is in a much better proportion because of my lips. My lines were really deep. I feel like I look a lot prettier or more attractive or whatever, and therefore I feel better with having those two things done. So I 100% am pro. I guess I think what worries me these days, I think we live in a society where it is such a almost like a normal thing. I worry that there are people getting things done really easily,
just for the
without
sake of
much
it,
thought,
yeah.
because they think it's going to answer all their problems. Again, it's kind of like we hit on with weight loss surgery, where people lose they lose all this weight, they're suddenly no happier, they're blah, 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 blah. And we had a few people on Instagram sort of write in about stuff to do like with this, and some really interesting viewpoints. One lady said, and I love this person dearly, said something like, I don't understand why, if you've got an imperfection, or something that isn't perfect, like why would you not fix it? And my take on that, because I feel I have many imperfections according to society perhaps, I'm very, very happy and secure and okay with those imperfections.
Yeah, and that comes from your
So,
mind, doesn't it?
yeah.
It comes from the way that you think.
I wouldn't even consider, fixing any of those, because I don't think they need to be fixed.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole point. And I think that if you're in a place where you're scrutinising your body, and we know that there are people doing this who are in the mirror, literally looking at every single bloody angle. Maybe this is a bit of an age thing as well with me. I'm at that age and stage, I'm just like, I just don't fucking care.
But how nice
So
is that? How
Oh, it's
free is that?
amazing. I just don't give a shit. I've got more important stuff to worry about. Maybe that's a part of it.
Yeah.
I've got more
yeah.
important stuff to worry about, like the fact that, I have massive bills to pay now. I have too much that is more of a, I suppose, more pressing issue in the world of my life than worrying about that scar or that bump or...
Yeah.
And that is a really lovely place to be. So, yeah, I thought that was a really interesting take. It's almost, I guess, on the one hand where it's like, well, why would you not fix something? My answer to that would be, well, why would you feel you need to fix everything?
Yeah.
So a very different kind of view. Again, and I don't knock what she does, and if she's had numerous procedures and they've definitely made her feel better, and that's fantastic, and I'm all for that, and I think that's great. But I don't think it's necessarily always going to be the answer perhaps that people think it's going to be for them.
Well, I think I spent like years holding myself to, I guess, like an imaginary standard where I felt like I had to be a certain way in physical, mental, like the way that I behaved,
Everything.
this and that. Like, you're not actually living your life when you're doing that. So if you're thinking, oh, okay, well, this isn't right, I've got to do this and I've got to do this. Like, when are you actually living? When are you actually
you're just worrying about what other people think.
For sure. Like, when are you going to go, well, hang on a minute, I'm actually going to enjoy my life. When does it end? Because it will always be something. If you're living up to a standard, whether it be a beauty standard or whether it be, you know, an expectation that was set to you through friends or parents or whatever it is, when do you then go, actually, this is my life and I'm going to live it the way that I want to live it?
You just said a really interesting thing. Where does it end? And I think that's another danger with anything when we start tweaking. Where does it end? Because I always make the example of, like, it's like when you get fake eyelashes for the first time. Again, you go in the first time and you go, I just want them natural, you know, just so it looks like I've got really good mascara. And then the next time you're like, can we go a bit longer and a bit more volume? And before you know it, you're like, you know, you look like a drag queen because you get used to it then, the new way. And because you then get used to it, you're like, these aren't doing anything anymore. Like, I need more and I need more and I need more. And I think surgery, it's a bit like tattoos. But tattoos is different. We're pro that. Get all the tattoos.
Or lip fillers.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't look that big anymore. They don't, like, whack a load more in, and before you know it, you look fucking ridiculous. Yeah. So that's a danger as well. I've got some little stats here of the most popular procedures. What do you think?
I'm so guilty of the tattoo thing. No, like, as soon as I walk out from having a tattoo, I'm like,
when's the next one? What do you reckon the top 3 procedures are for women? The top 3.
As in, like, fillers, everything, or
no,
just
not
actual surgery.
Surgery. So not Botox, not fillers, not facials.
Boobs, bum, tummy tuck.
Boob enlargement, reduction, 1, 2, tummy tuck.
Yeah.
Top 3. Then lipo, eyelid surgery. That's become more popular than nose jobs.
Wow.
That shocks me.
That's really
because I would have thought that nose jobs, would have been right up there. Top 3, right, so not surprisingly, procedures amongst men in recent years have really, really gone up. What do you think the top 3, this is quite funny with what you just said about maths, top 3 in men?
Jaw. I guess that'd be filler rather than surgery.
Should I put you out your misery? We could be a while otherwise. Nose jobs.
Wow.
Yeah. Chest reduction.
What?
Get Timothy from maths in. Lucinda's booking him in as we speak. Eyelid surgery. Again.
Wow.
Eyelid surgery for men and women has become,
I must say, I have a client who works at Harley Street, and she recently told me the amount of men that comes in is really shocking.
I think it must have gone up loads. What do you think about men having surgery? Because I have very strong opinions on this, which I will share.
I personally wouldn't be that keen. Like, I think I like a man. I like a man to be a bit rugged. I like him to be a bit, dare I say, manly.
Yeah.
I don't want a guy who's going to be that worried about his appearance. Like, I do actually, and actually we kind of do both stand in this point where I know we get little bits done here and there, but I want someone who's going to be secure in themselves. I don't want someone who's doing that, what we've just said, like on to the next thing, I'm not good enough. I want a man who's going to go like, I am good enough.
You want a guy who's secure with how he looks. He's like, this is me, I love it.
I can look after myself, I can look after you, because I ain't going to be worrying and insecure, thinking about irrelevant shit. Do you know what I mean? I don't want a guy who's worried about. I want someone who's secure in themselves.
I just started talking to a really, really nice guy who I usually go younger, and he's 51. This guy, very handsome, and he said something about me looking younger than I am. And I'm always very honest with people. I made a joke about it. I was like, I'm I've got good genes and I'm full of Botox or something like that. And he said, oh, I've been thinking about it with Botox. And I immediately, I'm like, my heart sank. And I said to him, I was like,
Wrinkles are normal.
Don't do it. Like,
Yeah.
I expect a 51-year-old man. I want a 51-year-old man to show signs of having lived a little bit,
for sure.
and to be a bit rugged. And
like,
so
you
to
can
me, I
always
know
tell
maybe
with
it's
men as
sexy, but I
well,
think it is
can't
manly.
you?
Yeah, a man. I mean, certain celebrities, for example, that we could probably think of. Like, I don't want my man sitting looking stretched and shining and smooth. It's not normal.
No, I agree.
So for me, again, I'm all for if something is really bothering you, of course. But for me personally, it wouldn't be for me.
I think as well there is a danger of being with someone who goes and takes it too far, and I just think that I would,
Kendall.
Yeah, I would feel uncomfortable about that. Is that right to feel uncomfortable about that? I don't
It's
know.
your personal preference, isn't
Yeah.
it? In the same way that people might say I like dark guys or blonde guys, like whatever. Yeah, it's definitely not. It's definitely not for me. But something that is going up. Yeah, the numbers of men doing stuff is going up massively.
Do you know what makes me laugh? When guys, this happens a lot, they go, I love a natural girl. I like I've seen like girls that have literally been like with guys who love a natural girl, and they have no idea that this girl gets her lips done, her cheeks done, her chin done. Like, they have no idea.
Everything. And
they're like, I love you because you're natural, you're so naturally beautiful. And they're just like, it doesn't, like, even when I've had it done, like, you don't even realise.
I think a lot of the time people would put us in the natural category.
Yeah.
We are largely, but
natural.
but we're not.
Oh yeah, people are always shocked. I've had clients who say how much they hate lip fillers and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I get mine done, and they're like, why? And I'm like, well, you wouldn't have even been able to tell. So
I had a male client once who actually was the fella of an old friend of mine, and he's a very opinionated guy anyway. He was gobbing off about how much he dislikes all of this stuff, and girls get all this stuff done to their face. And as I was working on him, I was thinking, oh my God, you literally have no idea then clearly that, like, my lips are done, I've got loads of Botox in me. Do you know what the funny thing with that was though? So my friend, his girlfriend, they're now married actually, she wasn't getting anything done at that point. And then probably a couple of years after me and him had this conversation, she went and had Botox done for the first time. And after she had it done, he was then talking about getting it done. Which I found so funny. I thought, ironic. I remember you lying on my massage table going on about how awful Botox is, and then he was even thinking about doing it.
But I think they have no idea half the time. And I think as well, like, I do understand when people go too far and it's overfilled. I personally don't find that attractive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it looks right, but I don't think a lot of people would even notice.
Another thing that really bothers me that I think is really important to talk about, I worry about the amount of people, and I was actually going to say maybe younger women, but I don't think it is exclusive to younger women. I think it's just people, full stop, with social media and these influencers. I watched a programme recently, which was like a documentary on various aspects of stuff to do with cosmetic surgery. And there was a girl, a young influencer. I think she was literally about 22, something like that. Like, she was young. And she had been offered by some clinic to go and have, I think it was a Brazilian butt lift or whatever. And the girl making the documentary, who is amazing, she was saying to her, what's the procedure? What are you having done? What's the recovery? What are the risks? This girl was not able to answer a single question, and she hadn't even had the kind of like the smarts. So it hadn't even occurred to her, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know.
Do you know what really put me off of the idea of not that I was even thinking about it, but I've seen with I see a video of when they've just come out of surgery and they're shivering and they just look so unwell, and like,
it's major.
That would put me off.
Yeah, it's really major.
That scares me.
For me, anything where you're going under a general anaesthetic, like for me, like I say, unless it really is bothering you, for me, a general anaesthetic is God forbid, because it's a medical, requirement. Like, I've got to have some surgery done this year. It was supposed to be done last year, but it's been delayed for various reasons. That has to be a general. Like, I have no choice. I'm going to have like the bottom of my esophagus cut open. That has to be done
Yeah,
because that comes with its own risks.
But it also comes with huge
massive benefits, exactly. And so for me, that's why I have to do it. But yeah, to go down that route and the recovery, all in the pursuit of what this perfection, I don't know. It's not really for me. But yeah, the influencer thing really concerns me because I just thought, you've basically got this girl. She's gonna go and get the procedure done without actually really having a clue what she's doing.
That's wild. Like, if you've looked into it and you genuinely think it's gonna make such a difference to your life, but you've done the research, okay, go do it.
Have a clue.
To not even know what it entails.
Didn't have a clue.
Crazy.
Didn't have a clue. Probably hadn't even necessarily thought about doing it, but because it was being offered to her for free.
That's a red flag in my opinion.
That's really worrying.
Why do you how are you in a position where you need to hand your surgeries out? That's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. But then this girl is going to go onto her Insta with her very, very many followers, like I say, of all different ages, and of course is going to be massively promoting this procedure without knowing anything about it. And it's like, and I often explain to my daughter, I'm like, can I just remind you, they are called influencers. What does that mean? What does the word influence mean? They are being paid to get into your head, to influence you, to part with your money, to influence you and convince you that you need X, Y, and Z doing to yourself. Like, this is not
I
natural.
definitely
it's not
don't
normal.
think it is a message that I could ever stand behind. Like, for me, I find it really wild that, like, I think it's amazing that these people get given platforms, but what I don't understand is, if you get given that platform, use it for good. Like,
use it wisely.
I love seeing all, like, the body positivity and all the kind of love yourself influencers, because it spreads such a good message. It's acceptance. It's not feeding into this idea that we need more in order to be enough. We need more. I struggle to get my head around that.
I also think as well, I don't know if you agree, and I know certainly, I think a lot of guys I've spoken to have said this to me. I find, especially living in this area with us, we're in Essex, and we're really sort of in the heart of like Towie kind of land, aren't we? The area of Essex that we live in. You see a lot of these girls in their 20s, they all look the same. Yeah. They're actually two things. They all look the same, and they all look probably a good, at least, I would say, 10 years older than they actually are. Sure. Yeah, because like, I personally think the whole filler thing, I can understand using filler to contour, enhance, a little tweak here and there. But I find with the filler, I think that ages you so badly.
If you take it too far,
100%. But they all look the same, and I've had guys say that to me. I'm like, I see these women, and their lips are all the same, and their cheeks are all the same, and their lashes are all the same, and like they literally
clothes as well. Yeah, just the same clothes, the same bags. Like it's like you've just copied and pasted everyone, haven't you? Yeah. The same hair extensions, the same waves.
And that to me,
like, where's your individuality? Where's your uniqueness?
But again, I think that's an age thing. I do think that's a bit of a, as you mature. I mean, obviously you're older than your years. I think that is a bit of a, actually, why the hell would I want to look like everybody else? Sure. I would be mortified if I just looked the same as everybody else.
When I was in, like when you were in school and everyone had, the on-trend things, like I don't think I was ever really, like if I went, so when everyone had a certain bag, for instance, I might have had that brand of bag, but I would have chosen a different one. Like I just never was the person that needed to have everything to fit in.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's unusual. But yeah, I think it's very dangerous. The influencer thing is very dangerous, and I think that too many celebrities do this stuff without actually really stopping and thinking about how far-reaching their impact potentially is. Yeah. And then you've got people getting involved then with really serious, let's say it was surgery, isn't it? Full-on proper surgery. And like I say, I think probably a lot of the time thinking about doing or then going and doing things that they possibly, without social media, would never have even thought about.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, her ass looks nice, I'll go and get that done.
Yeah, that's...
Do you know what I mean? Or like whatever it may be. one other person that wrote into us as well said, and again, you don't hear necessarily about the horror stories. She went for, I can't remember exactly what it was now. I think she'd had her boobs done, and then went for a reduction or something with one of a really, really well known, like one of the big cosmetic surgery groups, and had a terrible time. Things didn't go right.
This is quite common as well.
She basically, short of going sort of down a legal route with it, got
worrying.
yeah. And those stories will, of course, be happening more than people realise.
Yeah.
You're going to see all the good ones, but then there's going to be a lot of bad stuff. Another thing I think that's really interesting. I think fashions change. So, like, for example, like the big. Do you remember, like, when the fake boobs? Like, do you remember when Victoria? Betsy, you'd have been probably quite young when Victoria Beckham had hers done. Do you remember? They were literally. It was like two. It was like she had literally two footballs.
Yeah.
Like stuck on her, and the best
they don't look.
She just looked ridiculous. Also, because she was so skinny, she was like a little bird. It
doesn't suit her body.
She had these little twig arms, and then she had these massive jugs. But the funniest bit as well was that she never admitted to having had them done. And it's like, come on, you've suddenly got these two massive. And I think that's another thing as well. I think that especially celebrities or anyone with an influence, actually, if you are getting stuff done, equally, I think you have a responsibility to be honest.
Yeah, own it. Like, if you want it done.
Exactly. Like me, I tell everybody what I have done.
Own it. If you feel embarrassed about having it done, why have you had it done? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Yeah.
I think as well, like with social media or everything else, like the sort of standard that's been set, we just have unrealistic ideas of what normal is now because so many people have it done.
Yeah.
Like, I had a conversation with my friend. We've been to the gym, and we were talking about like how much we want to lose and this and that. I mean, she's a tiny little dot to me. I personally wouldn't say she needs to lose anything, but you know, if it makes you feel better and you have a goal, then get it. But we were talking about kind of your stomach, like, you know, it's always your stomach. Like, she's not got hardly anything on her, but I suppose in her case she wants to lose some off the stomach, and I feel like we have a real unrealistic expectation of what our stomachs should look like, because if you look at gym pictures, they're all posed. Everyone's posing. That's not to say that when they sit on that machine,
of course,
that they've got a little roll or whatever. Like, our bodies move, and it is so normal for our bodies to look different when we move. And I think
we can all pose in a certain way, like stick our bums out, whatever that's going to flatten things.
That's
whereas
not
then
reality.
Yeah,
that's when when we move along, it all moves.
That's what I love. The
constantly posed.
I love the girls on Insta who do that, who do the kind of side by side, like of basically showing the same body part, but one in an angle that makes it look really perfect, and then the one that it's kind of like the same body, I suppose, same body, two different poses.
Whereas in our head, if we've seen that picture, that you're drinking your coffee and you've seen a perfectly posed body, you literally might think that they walk around all day and like not a single thing jiggles, but of course.
But again, certain mindsets will think that. I won't think that because I've moved so far beyond that. I don't give a shit.
That. But when I said that, it was almost like a real light bulb moment. Like, yeah, you're right. Whereas I do think a lot of people do think that. They do think that is what people look like all day, every day.
No. I can really come in actually with a professional view on this. I obviously, with my job that I've done for 21 years, I see people naked, I mean completely naked, every day. Like that a lot of my clients joke with me and say, like, you see me in a more intimate way, or as an intimate way as my husband or wife.
Yeah. So
I've had 21 years of treating, massaging, literally physically touching people lying there in just their underwear. So I see everybody, and I'm within, but also that they are not perfect. Within that 21 years, I have massaged not just models, supermodels from that time, athletes, actresses, and do you know what's interesting? everyone has their insecurity as well.
For sure.
I had a very pretty actress, probably of like the, I won't say who, but it was like the time of people that she was friends with. It was like that Sadie Frost and Jude Law, Daniel Craig. It was like that era, probably about.
Jude Law is a handsome man.
Yeah, he is. Up close as well. He's beautiful. It was that time, so probably about 20 years ago, and she came in and she was like, "Oh my, I'm so sorry about like my legs need shaving and that need to apologise to me."
Yeah.
And I get that all the time. I probably, if I had £1 for every time someone said to me, I'm so sorry, I'm so embarrassed, blah blah blah,
Yeah, I think
whatever it might be,
normal.
or my feet need filing,
Yeah.
or this.
Yeah, I thought that before. I thought you were going to look at my feet and think, what a fucking minger.
And I think nearly everybody, the first time, has some kind
You probably don't even think about it.
I don't think about it because, as I've always said to people, and this sounds really brutal, but it's the truth, when you do a job like mine, I look at bodies as meat.
Yeah.
Whether it's you or me or someone like Kate Moss who's tiny. I've got some clients, they're tiny. They are very, very thin. They're quite bony. Then I have much, much bigger people. To me, you're meat. It's all me. It's meat for me to work on. I don't really notice anything. I don't care. In the same way that if you said to a gynecologist, like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, I need wax it," they just don't give a shit. But I think that taught me from really early on that it does not matter actually how beautiful somebody is. Everybody's got their insecurity. Everybody.
For sure.
It's very rare, and I think it's really sad, that I will get a client, or somebody walk in and just be like, "Ta-da, I'm here."
Yeah.
Whip their clothes off, like, especially for the first time. A lot of people are a bit shy.
Yeah.
I kind of admire, like in the gym when you get those women that just strut around. I mean, they make me laugh in a different way. I actually have those. I just think, oh, for fuck's sake, calm it down. But I love the confidence of it. The women that will stand blow drying their hair, stark bollock naked, or in their thong.
Oh yeah, I love
in their
that.
thong.
When
I'm like, why would you not just put some clothes on? But fair play to you.
Yeah.
That you're happy for the world to see your ass.
Yeah.
I love that.
When I first joined Nuffield, I remember turning a corner and there was a woman who just had a towel wrapped around her waist and she had amazing tits out, but like I was literally face to face with them and I was just like I felt more uncomfortable. She didn't feel uncomfortable. She didn't give a shit.
But that's what I mean. I'm kind of like fair play to that confidence, right?
They looked amazing. And then I felt embarrassed for looking at them accidentally. But
you can't help it.
In fairness,
you
I don't
can't
think she
help
cares.
it. Yeah, no. She's happy for those amazing tits to be admired.
Get it, girl.
So yeah, I think that's it. In summary, for me, I'm very pro people doing what makes them feel better, but I think there are limits. I think it can be very addictive.
And the intention, do it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Like, be careful of why you're doing it if you are doing it.
Intention, yeah. Again, with the younger girls, it concerns me. Is it kind of like, oh, I'm doing it because they think the men will like them more?
Yeah.
Which, as we've already covered, I think we've already established, men just are happy to be naked with you, whether your boobs are down there or up there,
just tell them
an
to lift
A
them
cup
up.
or an E cup. They're just happy to be getting hold of you. What a lovely way to put it. Anyway, yeah, that's our cosmetic surgery talk. We are going to do, our next one is going to be
dating.
Brilliant. Dating in icks.
We're going to do icks.
Icks. Even the word ick is just icky. That's, what do they call it? I'm going back to school days now. An onomatopoeic word. Are you impressed with me?
Yeah.
So, for anyone who doesn't know, an onomatopoeia, I'm going to Google this now because I want to check that I'm right. It sounds like what it is. I love that.
Ick.
Ick. I think ick is the perfect.
Yeah, the perfect word.
What are other good examples? Sloppy.
Oh, yeah.
Moist.
What?
Yeah, icks. So anyway, we will see you next week. Have a good week, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.